and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For a Pause in a Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today it is the start of Scattergorathon, which is my Patreon readathon. So it is Friday, September 15th. We are doing a weekend readathon, which is Scattergorathon. It's my old TBR game, which we then changed to make it a Patreon readathon. I've done it twice before, so if you want to check out my older videos, I'll have them linked down in the description below and up above. However all that works. And also, if you like what you see and you think this is fun, we are going to do one more before the end of the year. I want to try to do them seasonally, so we'll do one more before the end of the year. So the link to my Patreon is down below. But as you're watching this, obviously the fall one has already ended, but today is the 15th. I started out the month really strong, and I think I was reading really like a ton of books, and then the past couple days I kind of stopped. So I need to get back on track. I need to read a lot this weekend. I don't have anything else planned, so we'll see. I kind of want to go to the state fair though, because it ends this weekend. So maybe if I can talk to Eric and do that, we might do that tomorrow. But anyways, that is neither here nor there. Let's talk about what I'm going to be reading this weekend. So the idea behind Scattergorathon is that there are 6 prompts and then there are 6 letters. You roll 2 6-sided dice and you match up like one prompt, one letter, and then you find a book that matches the prompt and one of the words in the title like starts with that letter. That's the gist of it. The prompts that I'm using for this round is actually the conspiracy theories that we did for Amazing Readathon. So it was like what people thought we were gonna have as prompts. I stole them. So anyways, that's what we're doing. I should have rolled this last night and I didn't, so I did it on Google. So here is the roll. I got a 5, which was a 5-star prediction, and then I got a 3, which is an O. This kind of works out because I'm about 25% of the way into Children of the Fallen Gods by Carissa Broadbent. It's the second book in the Daughter of No Worlds trilogy. And I really need to finish it because A, I'm buddy reading with Shay and I'm way behind. And B, I'm pretty sure my library loan goes back tomorrow. So I really need to finish this. And that worked out perfectly. It was my 5-star prediction pick for Kerplunk when I did my monthly TBR. So I think that that's what I'm going to be reading, and I'm going to be like churning it out today, and I'd like to finish it before sprints today, but I still have like a lot. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna be reading. I have conflicting feelings about this book so far. I don't think I'm liking it as much as Daughter of No Worlds, but I think at this point of Daughter of No Worlds, I didn't think it was a 5-star, so like I'm still holding out hope. But my thing is that it's like really, really slow. Like it's taking a lot. Well, I take that back. It's not slow in the fantasy department, but it's really slow in the romance department. I don't see this as a fantasy romance at this point. This is just a fantasy. And so I'm struggling a little bit with that because I wanted more of the romance because I really liked it at the end of Daughter of No Worlds. So like, there's that. There's also an interesting new POV, and I don't know that I hate it, but I don't know how much it adds to. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna really try to work on this today because I still have like 7 hours of listening time. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So that's what we're gonna do today. I have a lot of work to do today because I taught a class yesterday, which means I was not in my office doing admin stuff. So and then the day before I was out in stores. So I have a lot of catching up to do with just like normal office work, and then I have one meeting. So other than that, I'm going to be really focusing on this audiobook. So I will touch base with you this afternoon when I'm off. All right, apparently we're going for some very moody lighting today. It's not late. It's 5:15. It's still, I mean, like sunny outside, okay? But anyway, we're apparently going for the moody vibe today. I don't know how that works. I just don't like the overhead lights on when I'm streaming because I get this weird glare on my webcam camera. But that's neither here nor there. I am on chapter 43 of Children of Fallen Gods. It's 53% in, so I definitely did not read as much as I thought I was going to. What I thought was going to be a very solo day of just doing like reports, and I had some permit applications that I had to fill out. I thought was going to be very straightforward. Was not. So we had to do some like collaborations and some meetings and things like that. So that's where we're at. So I only got to 15, but I mean, that's pretty good. So I have 9 hours and 9 minutes left of the audiobook. So on 2.3 times speed, that's little under 4.5 hours. I am definitely enjoying it more than I was this morning. That's for sure. This is so dark. Maybe if I like, I don't know, did that. There you go. Okay. Now you can kind of see. I am enjoying it. Goodness, Discord, please shut up. I am enjoying it more, and here's the thing, like the two main characters from the first book were like not even together at the beginning of this book, and I think that's why I was like, oh, this isn't a romance, this is a fantasy, right? But they had a reunion scene that was like so hot, so steamy. So like, while I think I still stand behind the fact that this is a fantasy that has a romantic subplot, that's like not necessarily a straight fan row, that one scene, whoo, like, I don't know, like it wasn't slow burn in the sense of like the first one was, because it's like we are dealing with so many other things. We are dealing with a war essentially. And so it's not slow burn in that way, but it was so nice to see our two characters back together again and like not be able to keep their hands off of each other. And we're here for that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it more than, makes sense. Like I enjoy the second half of Daughter of No Worlds more than I like the first half. So I'm on sprints now. We've started our Friday night sprints, and I'm going to continue reading, but I wanted to touch base with you guys. So yeah, and then we'll go from there. Good morning. Happy Saturday. I have no makeup on, and I'm about to start sprints. I'll do my makeup in the first sprint. It's fine. But I finished Children of the Fallen Gods super late last night. My library loan was going to go back at like 8:15 in the morning, so I finished it, but it was super late. I think I'm going to give it 4 stars because I did really like it. I liked the ending, but the pacing I think was a little bit off, because I do think that it was really slow in the first part of it, and then it was just like the ending was so fast, but it ended on such a cliffhanger that I just like want to start the next one, and I don't have time to start that brick of a book. So we're gonna go with 4 stars, I think. I have to actually run it through my conversion, but or like my little algorithm, but I think it'll end up being a 4 star if I like can do the mental math. But I'm gonna start sprints in about 10 minutes, but I need to roll again. So that we would do that here. I would pick a couple of options, and then my patrons can decide if we even have anybody on this early in the morning. I don't know if we will. So let's do this. All right, we have a 1. Oh, which is a book that you think should be a movie. That's easy, right? That's easy. Okay. That was because they thought we were going to go back to LA. Like we were going to end in LA, and that was going to be an option, which might be next year. Like, cause that's a good prompt, especially to end on. Okay, and we got a 1 again. Interesting. Okay, so that is D. So I'm going to go find some books. All right, I'm out here running some errands. The people in the live show decided that I should read Dark Corners by Megan Golden. And I have read maybe 30%. Scribd is really bad about what how much I've read, but I think it's about 30%. But I had to go run some errands, and this character truly is like in the mind of a serial killer kind of thing. It's intense. Okay, so at this point I still have no idea what's going on. I don't know who is what character. I don't know, like, we're telling so many different stories, and I truly don't know what's going on. But there's this one character who is kind of like this Uber driver, this like, chauffeur type thing, and he's sitting here, he's waiting for his ride, he's getting pissed off because they're kind of like drunk girls, and a bee flies in, and he like is infatuated with bees, and then all of a sudden he just goes and just kills the bee and like gets stung, and then he's like, just like acts as if nothing is happening as the girls get into his car. And like, truly the mind of a serial killer, psychopath behavior. That is all I have. I don't know what is going on with this book. I am very confused but I'm here for the ride. It's very much a Law and Order episode, and I am here for this. Not Law and Order, maybe, like more so Criminal Minds. That's what this is. This is Criminal Minds. So I'm here for this. I'm having a very, very good time with this book. So okay, I'm gonna go. Good morning. I finished Dark Corners by Megan Golden last night. I am gonna give it 4.5 stars. It's not quite 5 stars. It'll probably end up getting rounded up on Goodreads because it is better than The Night Swim, right? But what is with the trend of putting romances in books that don't need romances? Like, what? Rachel doesn't need romance, okay? Like, this is a thriller book. It felt really forced and really, I don't know. It was like trying to do Finley Donovan almost. It was like Finley Donovan, that romance makes sense. This one didn't make sense. But yeah, 4.5 stars. I still very much agree with the fact that it was paced well. It was edge of your seat. Like, this is a very thrilling book. So still great. 4.5 is still a good rating. I was just like, could have been a 5 star. Why did we have to do a romance? Not every book needs romance. You know, not every book. But let's roll for our next book. I probably should have pulled up the graphics. That would probably have been a good idea because I don't remember them. So first one we're gonna do is For the Prompt. And we have a 4, which is a backlist book. That's pretty easy. And now let's find the letter 2, which is a P. All right, let's find a book. Okay, the P made it harder for sure. But I found the Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi, and he just came out with a new book. So this makes sense that it's now a backlist book. My definition is a little bit probably different than most people. For me, a backlist book is like not their newest book, regardless of what year it was. It's just not their newest book. So he just came out with Starter Villain. So this, which also sounds really interesting and has like a really cool cover, and I kind of want to read it, but I don't want to buy it until I've read something from him. So we're going to pick up Kaiju Preservation Society. Plus it's super short. The audiobook is 8 hours. Unfortunately, it's an Audible only, so I'm going to have to use a credit, but I think I just got one, so we should be fine. So anyway, this is what we're going to read this morning. Probably while I'm watching football, because that's what we do on Sunday mornings. I don't think I'll be able to get it done by the time I have sprints today, so this might be the last book, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm gonna go read. Hello, it's Sunday afternoon, and I am 115 pages into the Kaiju Preservation Society, so not as far as I wanted to be, but that's okay, because this way, this will just be my last book of Scattergories. So like, I'm okay with 3 books in a weekend. Not as incredible as I've done in the past, but that's okay. Plus, with Rom-Comathon starting tomorrow, I don't want to burn myself off too early. You know, I have a lot planned for next week. 7, maybe 8 books. It's fine. We don't talk about it. Well, let's talk about this. This is a funny book. So this book is essentially about this Uber driver, or like Uber Eats, DoorDash type driver who gets fired from his job and then is talking to an acquaintance, and ends up getting offered this job to go and care for large animals, and they keep it very secret. They like, we don't want to ruin the surprise. He has to get a whole bunch of like different vaccines. This takes place right at the beginning of COVID, and they're like, oh, it's a COVID vaccine, it's experimental, but we also have all these other things because these animals might have parasites, but everything is so sneaky. And then they fly over and they get to the place, and it's like a kind of a portal universe. It's not on their Earth, and they see one of the kaiju, and he goes, is that a dragon? And he goes, not technically. And that is like the vibe of this book. It's funny, it's lighthearted, but it's dealing with some, like, you know, it's kind of like Jurassic Park-ish, but like with different animals, if that makes sense. But it's very science heavy. There's a lot of info dumping, and it does happen in dialogue, which isn't always my favorite thing, but I think it works well in this case or in this scenario because your main character, or the main character here, does not know what's going on. Like, and you are hearing about it from his perspective, and he doesn't know what's going on. So like the info dump and dialogue makes sense in this instance, so I'm not faulting it. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. I've got about 10 minutes left on the sprint. I am watching football at the same time. I didn't read as much because I was a little bit distracted this morning. But But yeah, anyways, that's where I'm at right now. I will definitely finish this tonight. I'm trying to read it physically because it's an Audible only, and I didn't really want to use an Audible credit if I didn't have to. But reading it physically is going really fast, so I'm fine with that. All right, I will talk to you later.
So comfortable, and no one seems to hold me like you do. You're so wonderful, a star could never shine as bright as you. Shine as bright as you. Even the dark days still see light, even the birds still sing at night. Every word just comes out right when I'm with you, with you. I feel so lucky I met you, and I...
So we've made it to about page 175 of Kaiju Preservation Society. And at this point, I am getting a little bit bored. I do think that it's kind of repetitive. I think that there's a lot of like the same things happening, and we just keep learning about these creatures. And at some point, I would like the stakes to get a little bit higher, because they're telling us things that are happening, or like some worries, some concerns that they have about this like alternate universe, this parallel universe, I guess. But I'm not feeling that the stakes are high, and I'm not feeling like this is a life and death situation, which I feel like I should be, right? So I just want things to like ramp up a little bit more. And I wonder if maybe having someone with the POV character who's not an expert in the field is actually hurting it at this point. I think at the beginning it made sense, and I liked that, and I kind of liked this average Joe character just kind of getting thrown into this absolutely crazy world. But at this point, like, he doesn't know that like we're in danger.
I'm in danger.
And he's not quite understanding it, I guess. So that's my only thing. That's the only reason that I'm like, I don't know, I'm a little bit bored at this point. Like, the concept is good, but I think that there are parts of it that I'm just struggling with. So it's still like funny. I like the writing style, so I will definitely read more from John Scalzi, but it's not like a 5-star, which I kind of thought maybe it could be at the beginning of this book. But we're going to continue reading it, and I'll let you know when I get a little bit further in or when I finish it. Hello, it's the next morning. I finished Kaiju Preservation Society last night. I took it to bed with me and finished it in bed. Because I should have been able to do it sooner, but there was A, football, and B, I needed to edit a video because it was for Rom-Comathon. And it was late. It's fine. Anyways, I think I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. I feel like my like thoughts on it are pretty much the same from the last time that I talked to you. Here's the thing. This book, I think, did exactly what it was trying to do. It's just that what it was trying to do was not necessarily what I wanted. What's what I thought I wanted at the... I don't know. Yeah, I'm second guessing everything. Because I feel like the book was pretty clear in what it was going to be. It was funny, like from the get-go. And I don't know, I was just expecting higher stakes and more like intense scenes, and I don't know why I was expecting that. Because it's not like, it's not what it was advertising. I don't know. I mean, I guess the synopsis like does make it feel like it's really high stakes, and it could just be that like from media that I like watch, that is dinosaur adjacent, or, you know, that kind of like dystopian thing. It kind of reminds me of the show 10,000 BC, maybe? I'll put the thing up here. But it was like basically where they like fell through a wormhole into a prehistoric time. Like that was kind of the vibe it was going for. And like maybe because that show is so much more intense, I was expecting this. I don't know. 3.5 stars. That's what we're going with. I do highly recommend it, and I do think I am going to continue reading from him. I do think I will pick up Starter Villain. May not be one that I like buy full price, but maybe if I find it on Pango. Anyways, that's all I have for you. Thank you so much. If you participated in Scattergorathon, if you're a part of my Patreon, I cannot thank you enough. You guys mean the world to me, and I am so happy and so blessed to have this community. So thank you so much. That's all I have for you today. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next time. Bye.